What's up, you guys? It has been a while, and I'm sorry we've been traveling back from Connecticut. Transition from being on the road for that long and then coming back home and jumping on things like the M4, which there's been a lot of progress, but today isn't about that. Today is about StreetHunter. StreetHunter today released its wide body design for the Gen 1 BRZ and FRS. That is right, StreetHunter is finally doing that car, which has been probably that most requested car that we've ever had from people, and man, I have a lot to talk about today. But if you haven't seen the photos, here they are. Kit looks amazing. We're gonna talk about design today. We're gonna talk about reasons it took so long to do this kit. We're gonna talk about when it's gonna be available, and I'm gonna talk about some of my favorite styling points and cues and why we designed this kit the way that it did. Because I very firstly want to say, this is the first time we've ever designed a kit with the main intention being that this kit, and this is a big point for this, and the Instagram post I didn't dive too much into it because I know we'll be talking about it, but this kit is designed to be able to be used on other BRZs that are already running a wide body kit. What do I mean by that? Well, for example, if you have a Rocket Bunny kit, version 1, 2, or 3, AKA we have a Gen 3 right here, you will be able to buy our kit and we'll be able to take off what you have and put the new body kit on. We did that first and foremost because we understand that a lot of people that are gonna be wide bodying this car will already have one that's wide bodied and they will just want to change the style up. So everything about this is also keeping in mind to cover up all of the holes that already exist and all the cuts you've already made. Man, oh man, was that a design challenge. And I want to first off give a lot of credit to John Zabal. That's our designer at StreetHunter, an absolute artist. He killed it. He spent a lot of time on this. We did, I can't even mention how many hours that we did on calls trying to just like talk about certain design elements. And also my new friend Cam. Cam, I met him last year at SEMA. He has probably one of the wildest BRZs on the internet. You'll see him this year at SEMA, but shout out to Cam. He actually joined us in helping us with this design element. So shout out to you, Cam. But this will all, I'm gonna explain all these things. So one, this kit looks amazing, I'm so hyped on it. First thing I want to address, I don't remember the order in which I said, but this kit was really difficult to make. And there's a reason why we've been waiting on doing this and we didn't want to release something too early. I'm trying to put my camera down somewhere so I don't have to be holding it the whole entire time. The reason is there are so many wide body kits for the BRZ that it's difficult to make something that hasn't already been seen. And I can speak confidently and very directly in saying that this kit is completely unique and stands off as its own design versus any other BRZ or FRS kit that's out there. Also, being that my BRZ is what influenced me in the wide body world and the aero parts world. I have videos of me saying, I want a Gen 1 Rocket Bunny kit. So I was already tainted so much, and it was really hard for me to think of wide body kits of the BRZ that I haven't been drilling over for years. So it was just really difficult to figure out where do we want this kit to start and what do we want it to look like. So we waited so long to do it because I wanted it to be unique enough to where it stood out enough and it didn't blend in with all the others because there are so fucking many. I think there's more wide body kits for BRZs than any other chassis that exists. 240s might have me beat on that, but I'm pretty sure that the BRZ FRS has more aftermarket body kits than any company. It's definitely a diluted pool that we decided to jump into, but man, oh man, does it have a special place in my heart. We really wanted it to be unique. So we decided to do a full front bumper replacement and front fender replacements. So that means no matter what you have, if it's a stock car or it's already cut up, it doesn't matter what your front end looks like because you're gonna have full replacements. The front bumper design is kind of modeled after the Gen 2 FRS or Gen 2 GR86, and you can clearly see that, and it kind of looks like our Gen 2 wide body. We wanted to have some similarities, but not the same exact thing. That's where that kind of front comes off of, and the detail work that we have in the fenders and on the eyebrows in this bumper are absolutely insane. And that bumper that you are seeing, and I don't want to blow our load here, but we have a full stock body catalog coming out for the Gen 1 car, as well as the wide body, which will be after SEMA. But the wide body will be available to order during SEMA when it does its when we do the sheet pull and show it in person. But that's also a stock front bumper as well. So we utilize the stock front bumper that we created with our wide body kit, and the wide body has over fenders or has like over extension pieces on the front bumper that go with that. So that bumper can be used on stock body and it's used on a wide body. The detail work on this is insane. The real inspiration for this car was very GT3 Cup racing, and that's where that front fender styling really comes from. I was like, I really want to pull from that. This kit was supposed to be the most aggressive styling kit we've ever done. When we wanted to design this, again, it was how do we stand out? And from the beginning, I was like, this car has to be the meanest looking wide body kit out there for the BRZ. It needs to be mean and aggressive. You need to see this thing and you need to see the silhouette, and it needs to just like be screaming at you. On the front fender, we have these like it's hard because I don't know if the photos show it very well. There's a fins that come up off the front fenders that it's so cool because when we started designing this, the 992 GT3 RS had very similar attributes that they've now started to put on the roof lines on cars. Just like these little arrow lines that helped us bring the aerodynamic flow to life. We added that to the front fender, just little details like that that are just like immaculate. We wanted it to be just like really, really aggressive. And this is definitely the most aggressive kit we've ever made. Typically we do like clean OEM extensions. This one was supposed to be like a completely mean aggressive look, which I really think we nailed that out of the park. The rear fender, again, is high enough to where it covers any pre-existing holes that should exist out there. There's maybe a few kits that it doesn't cover, but generally all of them, it should be able to cover all of that, which I'm super hyped about. We left the rear of the fender open to match the front openness of the fender. You kind of have the matching parallels, the vent extensions. You have these horizontal bridges that are mated to the stock rear bumper. And if you notice on the inside of the front fender, on the back side, those same horizontal fender vents are matched on the front fender to rear fender. And you can really get that bow and arrow shape that follows from the front all the way to the rear. This is the first time we've ever done a rear diffuser for the BRZ platform. We really felt like it needed it because we wanted to utilize the stock rear bumper so the kit isn't too expensive. That was a big selling point too. We wanted this to be an affordable kit, not something that like costs more than the chassis itself. The trunk obviously fits on stock body, again, kind of alluding that we do have stock body parts coming out. Carbon fiber trunk that really took inspiration from my OG trunk that I have on Miley. We took the Fang cues, but also gave a more ducktail style, and something that I'm really stoked on is this came directly off of my M4. On the top side of the trunk, you'll see these body lines, these hump lines, I guess you'd call them, that are on the top side of the trunk that came from the M4. I love on the M4 how you have this body styling right here, but typically on cars, it'll be like an indentation and a valley that is created. But on the M4, you literally have like, they're almost like fins, humps, these valleys. I love that. And on the M4 CSL trunk, that same characteristic follows onto the trunk. And I was like, yo, that is so dope. We should incorporate that into a BRZ. So the trunk has these extra body lines on the top side of the trunk, which I have not seen anywhere else on this platform, and really just sets the trunk off. I mean, it's beautiful. And that comes in a full carbon finish as well. We didn't do a hood because there's literally like 50 million different hoods out there. We might add one at some point, but nothing that we made really felt unique and standed on its own feet. So we didn't proceed to make a hood with this car. Again, there are so many amazing hoods out there. We just think like people can choose from that. There's no need to enter that, you know, that market because there's already so much out there. But if you haven't figured out, this car is gonna be revealing at SEMA 2023 at the MagnaFlow booth. 2023, 2024. What year are we in? It's gonna be Calvin's car. We're gonna be resurrecting Calvin's clapped out marshmallow BRZ, and we're gonna be giving him a full overhaul. And Calvin's gonna have his first car ever at SEMA, and it's gonna be the StreetHunter Gen 1 wide body kit. I wanted to make this video just to talk about it because I am not doing it on the main channel, and we just posted the announcement today, and so far there's a ton of good feedback, but I wanted to just provide a little bit of insight to this, and I wanna say shout out to the StreetHunter team for working hard on this. John, Cam, Dylan, we've all kind of put our heads together, and we probably had, this is the most difficult thing we've ever had to do because we wanted it to stand out on its own, and there's just so much competition, amazing competition, that people have already created stuff. Gen 1 BRZ, wide body, Gen 1, and then stock body parts. We will be revealing them soon, but it's gonna have front fender replacements, side skirts, just, oh, so much good stuff. So stock body boys, we haven't forgot about you. Trust me, what we have coming, you're gonna be super stoked on. And I love you boys, and I'll see you guys in the next clip.